Hey guys, my name is Cameron Fuller. I'm the project manager for Cherokee Construction, and this is our analysis of the early proposal for occupancy for the Chickasaw River Run Casino. On October 30th, 2013, the CEO, Bill Langley of the Chickasaw Gaming Authority, proposed to move the schedule for the casino floor from 47 days down to 30 days. This kind of acceleration in the schedule will cause a huge hardship on the project team, but I think it is manageable if we put in certain regulations. So this is our project timeline. As you can see here, the project first started off in November 2010, and then we can move into right here where Cherokee Construction, we were hired, selected as a construction manager, and that was in June of 2012. And then over here you can see where we are right now. October 30th was the early occupancy proposal, and then our first early completion would be November 30th. So one of the major opportunities that the Chickasaw Gaming Authority could make is the chance to earn revenue 3 weeks earlier. And then another major opportunity for them is the advertisement for the future hotel. So the reason why this is a big opportunity is because this hotel is still under construction, and not a lot of people may know about the details of the hotel. But if it is, if the casino is open earlier, it'll give them an opportunity to see what's going on with the hotel, what's going to look like, and basically use that as its own advertisement. Some opportunities that Cherokee Construction has is, number one, they can earn a bonus as well as their subcontractors for early completion of the project. And also, once that's complete, they can also have more time for the completion of the hotel. So basically, whenever the casino game floor gets done, they can focus all their energy into just the final punch list for the game room and then finishing up all the hotel. There are many risks for the Chickasaw Gaming Authority. The first risk would be that there's a high cost associated with accelerating the schedule, and this is due because many mobilizations of more crew members, overtime costs, and then obviously multiple issues that can come about when you're trying to speed through work. Another issue that the Chickasaw Gaming Authority may have is they may find it hard to trust our company to finish the project on time, and that's because it's going to be a hectic job site. There's going to be many obstacles to get this moved down 3 weeks earlier. Another risk is that they cannot remarket earlier completion date. So basically that means that if they don't get enough people there, it won't even be worth opening 3 weeks in advance because you won't be able to make the revenue off that. And then the last risk for the Chickasaw Gaming Authority is that they'll have very last minute employee training, which can lead to a bad first impression of the first day of opening, which could lead to decreased revenues for the first 3 weeks. Here's some risks for the Cherokee Construction. Number one, the biggest risk on this project is the fire alarm system. So basically, if anything goes fault through that fire alarm system, we're going to be liable for that. And the game area currently works right now, but the upper floors are still under construction of the hotel. So the entire fire alarm system has not yet been checked off by the Chickasaw Tribe Fire Department, which is the authority having jurisdiction. And right now, the game floor also allows smoking, which is a huge hazard because it could trigger that fire alarm system, which is not in place yet. Another issue that Cherokee Construction can face is there's a lot of construction zones surrounding the game floor area, and this is due to the hotel floors above trying to be finished out. And so it's always a danger mixing construction zones with the general public. Also, another risk that Cherokee Construction has is finishing our punch list with early occupants, and this is because there's going to be issues with access. There's also some overhead construction that needs to be done, and so anytime that you add public, like I said earlier, into construction zones, there can be risk associated with that. And finally, another big risk for our construction company is that there will be a lot of rush workers, and this can always lead to injuries and accidents on the job site. Lots of new crews coming in because of the mobilizations, so we just need to make sure that we have our hands around that. Some mitigations that the Chickasaw Gaming Authority can take to help combat some of these risks. Number one, to have open communication with the CN, that's us, and making sure that we're able to get this project done on time for y'all. We can help y'all out with that by doing weekly reports, job site documentation, having meetings on site, bringing y'all down there just to make sure that we can get it done on time. And then another risk that y'all can mitigate is to remarket the new opening date through word of mouth and social media. Social media has been a huge help for trying to put news out there. It's basically free, and you can spread it to a lot of people through a quick amount of time. And then the final mitigation that you can take against these risks are to bring in some experienced employees from your other casinos that you have just for a couple weeks until the new employees that you have earn the certain amount of training that y'all require to make a good impression on your guests. Some mitigations that us at Turkey Construction can take. Number one, we can develop a temporary fire alarm system that will be just for the game floor area and for the evacuation routes. And that way, that the authorities having jurisdiction, which is the Turkey Tribe Fire Department, they'll feel comfortable signing off on certificate of occupancy, and they won't have any gray areas that they don't feel comfortable about. Another mitigation that we can take is we can build protected evacuation routes through the construction zones which surround the game floor areas, and this is to protect the public if there is an event of evacuation event. This can protect the public from overhead injuries, basically anything that can happen to them going through a construction site. And third, in order to protect the public and the early occupants, while we're finishing up our punch list items, we can start doing our punch list items after the hours of the casino. Usually casino hours are like late afternoon to late at night, and so we can do those in the morning, early afternoon times where there's not going to be anybody getting our way. And those punch list items include like a 16,000-gallon shark tank, center bar, and installing of signage. And then lastly, we can heavily monitor the new crews to ensure that they're doing everything safely. We can send them through our safety programs and just have somebody on site all the time making sure that they're not rushing through things and doing things unsafely. In conclusion, we just want to emphasize safety over everything. And we also want to make sure that the authority having jurisdiction, which is the Chickasaw Tribe Fire Department, is comfortable with signing off on early occupancy, and they feel comfortable with the fire protection system that we have in place. Also, another big thing, we just don't want to force anything. We don't want to put ourselves in these sketchy situations to where we could find ourselves in a lawsuit, which just would make this 3-week revenue just not even worth it in the long run. And I hope you approve of our plan of action, and we'll work our hardest to meet the 3-week deadline, and I hope y'all approve. Thank you.